Hello, and you are here with SlenderDan and with Phoenix for our next episode of the Chillin Villains comic book review. We are going to be reviewing the very first comic book in the series called Chew. It is written by John Layman, and the art is by Rob Guillory. So, this comic book is very interesting. Phoenix has read it before, so he knew the whole thing about it, but this is very interesting to me. So anyway,
we're going to give you... is amazing.
Yeah, the series is... Okay, you're right when you said it's my new favorite book. This whole idea and everything is awesome. So, basically, we're going to give you the short rundown, and then at the end you can get the spoilers. Right. So, there's a guy, and he is a cop, and he's got his partner, and chicken is outlawed because supposedly there's the flu. And so they're talking about the flu, and they're talking about all the things that also Chew can eat all these different foods, like apples, and it gives a whole outline in his mind of where the tree was, the apple falling, the whole history of the apple. And basically eating any food gives him the whole outline of how it is, except for beets, for some strange reason. And I'm betting in future comic books you find out why.
Maybe no, maybe C.
That would be cool. That would be cool. I'd like to know. Basically, he and his partner are in a stakeout, and they're looking for somebody who is illegally transporting chicken because chicken is all banned. All types of chicken, any type. And basically, they go through as cops, and that's the whole outline of the story.
Right.
So, for Chew, I just think that what do you think of the artwork, first of all?
The artwork itself is stylized enough where I know exactly what a Chew book looks like, but it's not so much the art style as much as the little things that this thing does so well. There are layers upon layers of jokes.
I think that it's great, too. I just like the whole effect of this specific artwork and writing. As I said, this is a story and stuff. It seems really cool. So, I would say I'm going to read the rest of these, and I would definitely recommend for you guys to read it. Phoenix, what do you overall think of the comic book itself?
Oh, no, I hate it. I'm kidding. It's great. It's amazing. I've read the other 44 of these.
44. Oh, man, I'm in for it. I got to be in for it. It is 99 cents to pick it up. If it was me, I would actually go to a comic store and find it, but, you could buy it online if you wanted to as well. So, overall, artwork's cool, story's great, very unique, never read anything like it before. I would say definitely pick it up. Phoenix, what do you think?
It's at least worth a try, and if you find yourself to be one of the very strange people who don't like it, well, it's only 99 cents. Yep,
there you go, 99 cents. I mean, there's not much you could buy with that. So that concludes our whole review of the comic book, and now we're going to get into the spoilers for the people who want to stick around and maybe not buy it or they don't really care. So, Phoenix, I am going to go back to page 1 so we can go off of the different ones. So, there's 44 comics, and is it still being made?
Yes, there are supposed to be 60 books total, and the most recent one is number 45.
Okay, very cool. So basically the comic book starts out where there is you can't see who the person is, but obviously it's a chef. He's cooking a bunch of stuff, slices his finger, and just continues putting the stuff into the pot, because why not, right? I mean, you're dealing with chicken flu, so a little blood into the soup is not going to make any issues.
Right.
So, and then the next one, it's loading, but it's he and his partner are in the grocery store buying stuff.
Right. And it explains that Tony is buying beets because Tony Chew and he's cybopathic, where he can tell the history of things by eating it, and beets are the only things that he can't figure out at this point.
Right. So, if it will load for me. So they're in their store, they're buying all their stuff, as Phoenix said, and then they're on their stakeout. So they're looking up at a place called Speedy Upholstery, and they're in a van, obviously. and they see some dude passing by, and he's got some chicken and something in a bag, and they're like, it's not worth the paperwork, might as well let him go, because obviously it's not who they're looking for. And then they see a guy walking out of the place. He's got a hat on that says Chew, so obviously there's a lot of small Easter eggs and stuff too, and probably a whole story behind that as well. And he's got 2 bags full of chicken, and it's uncooked. So they're talking about it, and they're like, we should, and then they find out that it's his brother. And it goes to the cook who chopped his finger, and he's doing the whole show, and he's talking about how you don't need chicken, and then you can just substitute it with chicken soup. And he basically starts freaking out, cussing, yelling, and looking at the camera, and then it's put off air.
Because, of course, fake chicken is not as good as real chicken.
Right. That's
and
what
for the record,
dude
that's
freaking
not the
out.
cook who cut his finger.
Oh, that's not the cook who cut his finger.
No.
Okay. So next, he decides that he's going to bring his brother in, and then they see someone who they call D-Bear, who obviously is maybe a big-time chicken dealer or something. I don't know what that would be. And they're going into the place. So as they're going out, they're getting their guns, their vests on, and everything, and someone from the FDA comes up, Agent Mason Savoy. And he tells them that they cannot go and arrest them because they're giving information, and the FDA is turning their back and letting them continue with their illegal works as long as they supply information. And then he says that they could go in and they could go get some chicken dinner, and their password is Wishbone. So they go inside, they tell the password, and then they sit down, and then these partners hate each other. They state that in the beginning of the comic book. And basically he asked for chicken breast, drumsticks, thigh, all extra crispy, and just the whole meal. And then the waiter goes to the other guy, and he goes, what would you like? And he goes, what's the soup? And then the guy's mad because it's chicken soup. So I thought that was funny. They get their meal, the partner eats all of the chicken, and then the other one starts eating the soup, and basically it what was the word you used for how he can see the whole history?
It triggers his psychopathic tendencies because the guy got his blood in the chicken soup.
Okay, that's where that fits in. So that whole conclusion's in there. And he finds out that the guy murdered some girl that was bagging groceries. That's what I got out of that. And they find out that that's the murderer that they're going after, and that they want to take him out. So they break into the kitchen. They tell them that they don't care, that they're doing all the chicken stuff, which is interesting because it doesn't really explains that the flu happened because of the chicken, but obviously there's a really diverse story behind it, I'm guessing, in the later volumes or comic books of why chicken was really outlawed. And it's black marketed now, like anything that would be outlawed. The partner gets a massive
meat cleaver to the face.
Yep, straight into the face. Don't know how he lives. He's still talking to John. He's still talking to him. And then he dies. So he runs outside. The guy who can see the history of all the food tells the guy to freeze the one that threw the cleaver, and he says, "You're not taking me," and basically slits his throat overall. And what happens after that is he's like, oh crap, he's dead, and he starts to eat him, or eat his face, for say. And
well, you know, that gets the whole history of it, so.
Exactly, and there's chomp, slurp, there's some great sound effects that you can just guess that are written down. So in the next area, the chief is hammering him, telling him how he's going to try to keep him out of jail, and there was 13 murders, how did he know about it, and why were you eating him like a frickin' zombie? And you can see all of the FDA agents and stuff waiting outside. So, Phoenix, I would like you to conclude this comic book of how it ends, because...
And as he's being told to turn in his gun and badge, Savoy comes in and says, not so fast, he's going to be the newest member of the FDA.
And that's how that ends.
In book one.
In book one. So, it's got my attention. I think it's great, and I would like to continue reading them, and I would highly recommend this to anybody. Phoenix, what do you think?
Yeah, I would recommend this series to anybody.
definitely. It's not one of those stories that is like a prequel to something. It doesn't exist. This is a story of its own that anyone could get into. Obviously, it's linear and brutal and everything that I would like to see in a comic. So I'm good with that. So I hope that you enjoyed our next review by Phoenix and Slender Dan, and just overall, just check out this comic. It's only 99 cents. So thanks for watching.